Welcome to Bible Study with Faith, where I'm reading the Bible out loud to you in a way that's easier to understand. I am laid up in the bed right now, so I am reverting back to Snapchat with the filter, and I am reading the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5. Moses summoned all Israel and said, "Hear, Israel, the decrees and laws I declare in your hearing today. Learn them and be sure to follow them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us, and Horeb, it was not with our ancestors that the Lord made this covenant, but with us, with all of us who are alive here today. The Lord spoke to you face to face out of the fire on the mountain. At that time I sent the Lord and you to declare to you the word of the Lord, because you were afraid of the fire and did not go up to the mountain." And he said, "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourselves an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth below, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall do no work, neither you, nor your son or your daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns, so that your male and female servants may rest as you do. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath." And this has been said over and over and over again. It's so important that it's like throughout the Bible, many, many times, reminding you of how to do it, when to do it, and who should do it. You in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. These are the 10 commandments being said again. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet wife. You shall not set your desires on your neighbor's house or land, his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. So they have really, really set in there and told us what coveting your neighbor means. Not just wife, but anything that your neighbor has, you should not want it and then set into motion a plan to take it, which would be even worse than just being jealous by wanting what they have. These are the commandments the Lord proclaimed in a loud voice to your whole assembly there on the mountain from there out and the deep darkness, and he added nothing more. Then he wrote them on 2 stone tablets and gave them to me. When you heard the voice out of the darkness, while the mountain was ablaze with fire, all the leaders of your tribes and your elders came to me, and you said, "The Lord your God has shown us his glory and his majesty, and we have heard his voice from the fire. Today we have seen that a person can live even if God speaks with them. But now, why should we die? This great fire will consume us, and we will die if we hear the voice of the Lord of our God any longer. For what mortal has ever heard the voice of the living God speaking out of fire as we have and survived? Go near and listen to all that the Lord our God says. Then tell us whatever the Lord our God tells you. We will listen and obey." I want to hear like they did in the physical. They were so afraid that when God came to them to speak to them in the physical out of the fire, they were like, "Oh, well, people always die when they hear his voice, and we don't want to die. So here, you go listen, and we will listen through you." They shouldn't be so scared, right? "The Lord heard you when you spoke to me, and the Lord said to me, I have heard what the people said. I have heard what this people said to you. Everything they said was, oh, that their hearts would be inclined to fear me and keep all my commands always, so that it might go well with them and their children forever. Go tell them to return to their tents, but you stay here with me, so that I may give you all the commands, decrees, and laws you are to teach them to follow in the land I am giving them to possess. So be careful to do what the Lord your God has commanded you. Do not turn aside the right or to walk all that your God has commanded you, so that you may live and prosper and prolong your days in the land that you will possess." That is the end of chapter 5. And I understand that we're supposed to fear God, and I do. I fear God more than I fear anything else. I don't have any other fear other than God. And at the same time, I know that if he was to say he's going to come down on a mountain in a hail of fire and that he wants me to meet him up there, I'm going. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm scared. But to each his own. I'm sure that everybody that was there that got to hear through Moses, rather than going up the mountain and hearing themselves, was readily, they were ready to listen. In Jesus' name. If you would like to catch up, all you got to do is pick up a Bible, any Bible will do, and read the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 1 through 5. Or you can find me at Jesus is a DJ, all one word, on my YouTube channel, and I'll do the reading for you.